So I'm on the flowstate right now. It is the server that I run. And tomorrow there is a festival happening at Spawn. This is Spawn right here, and it's undergone quite a transformation in the past week. People have been building up shops in preparation for the festival. There's mini games. And so I thought a build of some sort here could be cool. There is this grassy part over here to the left, and I thought that would be a good spot for some runways, because we have planes and air vehicles on the SMP. So yeah, the festival is tomorrow, but I'm sure it'll be included in the video later, so for now, we're just going to do some building. And if you want to join the SMP, if you are interested, check out how to join SMP in my Discord, and my Discord is linked in the description. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
What's going on? What's going on, I said.
The barrel is even more hidden.
Which barrel?
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm gonna build a runway, hangars for people to dock their planes, apartment buildings.
Nice.
So I say we clear out some trees because I'm the Lorax, and we will make this the runway. Something like right over here. Look at the train go by, dude. That's so cool. I probably didn't mention that yet. We have Create on the server. I've recently updated, dropped an update for the server, and I added Create to it. So now we can have trains. So cool, dude. Okay, let's do some building. So I'm going to start by making a couple of diagonal lines, because we do diagonal builds here, dude. None of that straight line, boring crap. Okay, that looks like a pretty large airport. I think that'll do. And then this whole line can be hangars or over here, and then we need like an air traffic control tower for villagers. I think that'll be a nice airport. This is going to take a while. Just let's fill in the framework. Let's do one thing at a time. Okay, so they're somewhat filled in now. This part is obviously not dirt yet, but I'm just getting the shape, and then we'll do fine details on the runway itself. It's not just going to be one solid dookie of coarse dirt. Well, the next thing to do is probably to fill in this gap here. This, you know, it's not going to just be like a drop off like that. I want to put some block in the middle that's different enough, but not like a huge contrast, and I'm kind of feeling stone. Okay, that looks good. Now it's all pretty filled in. I know it's just like a giant brown stain right now. So now let's move on to some of the finer details, like the wall I was talking about. I want to put some grass, leaf litter, stone, whole bunch of stuff, a bunch of texture in here. Although one more thing before I do that, I just want to visualize this edge bit. Like I said, it's going to be not tarmac per se. It's going to stay like a Minecraft-y spruce dirt vibe. It's not going to be concrete, but I want this to be like a full tarmac area where the biplane hangars will be. Like the actual buildings, the air traffic control tower, which that could also go, I don't know, like here maybe, kind of in like a central location, but this should all be pretty flat. That's my point. And I want this to be a bit of a different color, so maybe I'll do stone again. I mean, with Axiom, you can put a block in here and then say, like, oh, we want it to be a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit less saturated. I don't really know how to explain this, but like this block maybe is better. Just want this to be like kind of a tarmac. Oh, but that kind of looks bad with the overlay texture. I'll find a way to do it. Don't worry.
Trust the process here.
What are you talking about? Trust the process.
What do you mean? Beautiful view.
Well,
gone.
it's a pretty pretty big area.
Don't worry. It's a big server. There's a lot of people that have planes, I'm sure. A lot of hangars. I bet this still won't even be enough. I could probably build like 5 hangars. Wow, wow. Look at that frame rate.
Oh, beautiful.
Whoa.
Okay, well, there's some more texture in the tarmac. I need to have a better defined edge of the actual airfield part, or the runway part. Let's build up a bit of a stone wall. Okay, there's more of a defined edge. It's starting to come together a little bit. I was just thinking maybe I should extend the tarmac a little bit right here, and some sort of extra building can go right there. Because you know how airports, they don't just have, obviously, the terminals and the hangars. There's like a whole bunch of stuff going on at an airport, like different communications towers, maybe smaller hangars. There's spots for like fire trucks or whatever. I don't know. Just maybe a little extension right here could be cool. We also do have, you know, with the airplane mod, immersive aircraft, there's these like seaplanes, which are so cool, dude. Let me show you. They're called the bamboo hopper, I think. Like, look at how cool that looks, right? So it can land on the water and then you just take off like that. So it would be cool to have like an aquatic hangar, some sort of like water-based spot down below, like a dock, a sea dock. Excuse me.
That's just
Going
Yeah,
through.
what do you mean?
I'm sorry,
Outside.
sorry,
Oh.
sorry.
What the heck? That looks bad. Oh.
Look, it's my first time flying it, okay? Alright, nice little extra bit of tarmac to work with. So, I think this is pretty good. I don't think the airport needs to be any larger than this, at least not for a while. So, let's start working on some fine details. Like I said, let's do the tarmac. I keep saying that, not the tarmac, the runway. Let's do the runway. Let's sprinkle in some stone, some grass, just subtle things, maybe some leaf litter, just so it's not this giant solid brown color. It needs to be mixed up a little bit. Let's see what other blocks I could throw in. Like planks would be good. Maybe some actual dirt. Ochrum, that sounds cool. If you're wondering how I'm doing this, I've got infinite reach with Axiom enabled, and then fast place, or I don't know. There's some way I'm able to place blocks that fast. I think it's from Axiom. I don't even have fast place enabled. I don't know how it's this quick. Well, either way, the infinite reach is what's letting me do it at this range, like this. I might put a little bit of darker blocks on the edge, which in this case would be spruce planks, just to, I don't know, make the middle pop a little bit more, like a shadowy accent in a way. Okay, I like that texture. Now let's do some really fine detail. Let's get leaf litter, get some grass. Oh, actually some shrubs would be good. Like a sandy shrub like that. Isn't there also like a bush? This thing. I just feel like a sort of dead plant would make more sense because these are kind of bright. Like these sandy shrubs might make more sense for like the actual dead bush, this thing. All right, that's cool though. That's some nice fine detail. I want to do some slabs on the edges here. These are a little bit too harsh of walls here. All right, there's some more detail. Put some grass down. I think it's time to do some buildings. This is going to be really tricky in the way that I've done this, being fully diagonal, but I think it'll be really cool. Let's start with, like, I'll pencil in where the tower will go, but I want to start with the hangars, I think. Like the air traffic control tower will be right here, and then all of this will be hangars and mechanics, buildings, and whatnot. Now, because we have Create, I do think there are some good blocks to look at in here. I'm not really familiar with Create's stuff, but I feel like it's going to be kind of a blend of industrial and also some kind of typical spruce Minecrafty blocks. Like cut deep slate, and like there's some really cool blocks in here. But before I get lost in the sauce, I need to actually pencil in the frame because this is going to be pretty difficult doing it at this angle. So honestly, that's probably a good size. So I could fit, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 hangars in here. We'll see. Probably quite a few. Yeah, that's cool. There's like industrial steel. That would be a good one. Or industrial iron. Alright, that's good. And then I'll probably still do a wooden roof out of spruce planks. I don't want it to be too industrial. Like, you see how there's some color continuity here. The roof is going to match the runway, and then the hangar part will match the tarmac. So you're just having similar colors appearing throughout the builds. That's what can make your builds look good when there's some color continuity. This is honestly going to be very similar to a hangar I just built in survival, so I'm kind of going off of memory of that one. It was also diagonal like this. Let's make the roof glass. That'd be cool. I think there's framed glass or something. I thought there one had like a trim to it. Maybe not. Oh, there's scaffolding too. That'd be cool. Yeah, wait, there's spruce windows. Oh, but that's probably not for the ceiling. I mean, let's see. That... Can you see through that? Oh, you can. Okay. This is weathered iron window, but that has a top to it. I wish there were glass slabs, man. Put a door on the back. One of these cool folding doors. Oh, that's so cool, dude. And then I want to have like some mechanical stuff on the inside, so we'll get some workstation blocks. And again, this is going to be my thing for the festival, so people can come up and say, like, I don't know what the price will be yet, but maybe like 64 diamonds, and you get a full hangar, storage. This could be like your spot. And I could make them, you know, even more grand. Like, I'll copy some of these over, but make like a really large one with a helipad too, or something like that. But this could be like your spot at spawn. Which is a cool idea. I guess the only thing to do would be to get a sign where you could hang, like, who claims this hangar as like a template. It's too bad I didn't make this odd. It's like an even number, but I could improvise a little bit. We could say this is like hangar 1A, and then another sign that says claimed by, you know, I'll just say flowstate. So this will be like how you delineate who owns which hangar. That's cool. And so now we can copy this design over. We'll probably do like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them. We could rotate them around. Okay, so there's 5 hangars. Wait, it copied the biplane too? Oh my god. I didn't know it could do entities. Well, that's cool. Let me get rid of them because I don't want people just taking them willy-nilly. And then I gotta change the names as well. So these will be like 1B. Hello. And then I need to put a sign out front to like show that this is not yet for like use, right? But a cool way to do that is I could get a chain. We could do it like this and then rope it off and then put a sign right here. Let's say 32 diamonds. That seems fair. All right, there we go. Now they're all set up. Cool. Well, one detail that I want to do right now is, you know how at the end of runways they have like those lights that illuminate so that pilots can see where they're going? Let's do that. Let's get some fences and maybe some iron bars and torches, and we'll do that with like redstone. That's so annoying that these like don't... They go like 2 chunks and then they stop rendering. Awesome. I guess the runway should actually not go all the way to the edge. Right? Doesn't it kind of like stop here? And then this will all be like the lights. There we go. Something like that. That's pretty cool. And I might even do that on the ends here with end rods. I don't know how I feel about this chain. Like, if it's not even going to render past like 2 chunks, then what is the point? I might just get rid of it. That's a little better. It's a bit funny with the kind of dirt vibe. It's like I'm trying to do both a modern airport and a airfield, but I think I'll find a balance. I guess on this side, I won't do those lights because you got to be able to fly the plane past there. We do need to put the lights on the other end of the airfield too. All right, let's do the tower now. Be a big old square building.
Oh.
All right, it's a bit chunky. It's a bit of a chunky boy, but I feel like it's cool, the tower. I wasn't looking at any sort of reference images, but it's got some nice detail on the side. Did some create mod blocks here and there. The interior is not done, but I think that's good enough. You know what it's supposed to be. Now let's do some of the other buildings. All right, let's see the banners. Oh, I like this one the most. This one's cool. I know you were going for a plane. Is this to your liking? Looks more like a snail.
Yeah, no. I kind of gave up on that.
Looks
idea.
like
Let me put this on the tower.
Yeah, this is the festival ground, and everyone make sure you bring your wallets and just have a good time.
Cut the ribbon.
Oh, it's still there.
What the anti-gravity?
Yay! Yippee!
Everyone could just walk on through, take a look around, see what you want to do.
Dude, this dance floor is so cool.
Flow.
Yes.
I also
All right, let's see the mini games.
an egg hunt.
Which
we
should
know
actually
it's not,
An egg hunt.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so cool.
It's all over the map. And then over here, this is beans. I actually don't know what this is. Bean.
Throw a bean.
Throw
What
a
the
bean.
fuck
Oh,
is this?
throw-
Throwing beans.
You throw a bean.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
Oh,
jumping flow.
what? That's not possible, is it? Oh, it's like a dunk machine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. What is this building? Sushi?
Yeah, wait.
Ooh.
Yeah, we did.
All right, back to the dance floor.
Go spend your diamonds in here, guys.
I'll spend the diamonds you gave me. Which player head do I want? Pumpkin? Mushroom? I'll do a mushroom.
Oh, flow.
Ooh, booyah.
This is the chicken hit.
Chicken hit.
The bow and arrow. Okay. Well,
Oh, oh my god, this is brutal.
it is.
Yes, it is. Game over.
Oh,
The bow goes out.
man, you guys suck.
It is harder than it seems. It started.
What?
Yep.
Oh, fuck off. I was right there. All right, fair enough. That's pretty difficult. All right, so here's how we'll do it. We'll start the bidding, and if the bidding then gets out of your price range, just hop off, and then whoever's last standing will get the item. So what we're auctioning off is a Pepstickian femur. This is a very old fossil. It is a very old fossil of unknown origin as the text. So if you want it, we're going to start the bidding at 10 diamonds. Do I hear 15 diamonds? 20. 25. Do I hear 160? Oh, Peptic is still in the race. 160 going once. 160 going twice. Sold to Peptic.
Yes.
Let's go.
All right, you get your own femur from your own species. There you go.
Oh, wow.
So why don't you test it out?
All right,
Ready.
try? Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. It's got some power behind it. Now, does anyone else want to do an auction? I think this format is pretty good. Oh wait, I just came up with something good. All right, guys, we have another auctioned item. Hop on the spinny thing if you want to participate. But this one's gonna be a high-ticket item, so bring money. This item is the deed to Hyperglade, and whoever holds this paper will become the owner of Hyperglade, the town.
Hey, what do you mean? You already entrusted me with the ownership of Hyperglade.
Well, whoever owns this will now be the owner, okay? So, we're gonna start the bidding at a stack of diamonds. Stack of diamonds, starting price, okay? Alright, 128 going once. 128 going twice. 3 stacks of diamonds. 4 stacks and 10. Do I hear 4 stacks? Do I hear 420? 9 stacks. 9 stacks. Wait, Peptic's out of the race. Sold to Bandit. Alright, well that Bandit, that means that you have to leave Veronis though.
Would you rather just give it to me?
No.
You have to be a member of Hyperglade though, and if you leave, you're banned. Oh.
Oh, Bandit.
Give it.
Alright, Bandit. You're now the rightful owner of Hyperglade.
I will have to go back to Veronis to grab the rest, so I will be back.
He's not coming back.
Oh, this is some top tier gameplay. Jam, I think you're getting your ass beat.
Wait,
I am getting
selling.
Why would you...
I won.
How did you miss that?
Why?
Oh,
Rookie
sorry.
mistake. That's so cool that it resets like that.
Alright,
Spent
here you
diamonds
go.
that I earned today.
Thank you. I'm a rich man. And now, Bandit, you want to see something really cool?
No.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Oh my gosh!
I am so happy that I had permission to spend Dex money.
What?
Dex money?
You spent your friend's money?
Yeah.
Look, I'm just managing inflation on the S&P. That's all it is. Now, do we want to do a battle with potato cannons? All right, all aboard. You gotta admit, this is a cooler way to travel than Elytra's. Why does it keep stopping? What the fuck? Someone's hand on the shift stick. Let's do a water landing, okay? What do you mean, oh no? It's a seaplane.
Oh, okay.
Skirt. Ooh. These are so hard to use. Stay away from my base.
I don't want to.
They're so impractical. Oh, if I'm too close to you, you can't kill me. Ooh. No.
How does
No.
that work?
No. Yeah, protect me. 4 to 4. Oh, it's match point. Oh.
No.
Wait, what? What? How did we both win?
I don't know. But, ow!
Help
Why
them.
are we getting spawn camped?
How are you still alive?
No, I don't know. Help! No!
I'm gonna kill
How
the
did you
sickly
hit me
woman.
from
Oh,
that far?
long range, baby.
Ow! What? Slow.
Yeah, baby, protect me, protect me. Human shield, protect me. No, no.
What?
Oh.
Oh, he's so low though.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
What? Yo, what is this bridge? That's so cool.
Aqua made this. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Oh.
All right, should we all get on a seat? What a lovely train experience.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is so cool. That was probably one of the coolest experiences I had in the server was season 6 when we rode the train to England.
Oh, you did?
Oh.
I don't think I ever did that actually. I never got to experience that.
Oh my, the train is flickering in and out of existence. Oh. No, it was really awesome. Whoa.
Oh, the sound is so cool.
Isn't it? Oh.
Oh,
Oh my god, we're crossing dimensions. How is this even in Minecraft? That's
Oh, that actually
insane.
works.
Like, we're riding a train in the nether. This is insane. I gotta say, there's no... The bridge could use some work, though. Oh, this is Tumbleweed itself. Yeah, give us a tour. I haven't really seen this part of the town.
I won't trust you. Then we've got a grocery store.
Ooh. Wait, there's a
Oh,
factory?
yeah.
Whoa, this is cool. This does not feel OSHA approved. Like this. Oh, whoa, look at all this. Well, thanks for attending the festival, everyone. That was very fun.
What?
All right, I'm gonna get back to building, I think.
Have fun, don't
Bye,
die.
bald
Thank you.
woman.
So I know for a while now that people have asked me to do a talk about life while I do the builds in these building videos. And it's pretty tough to do, multitask where I build and talk, but I think my solution is to just do it after the fact. So right now I'm in the woods. I've done this a couple of times now in my past few videos where I go on a walk in the woods and I'm talking to my phone, so I hope that the audio quality isn't too bad. But I could just do some building in the background and then also do the talk. So it's kind of best of both worlds. And so what today's topic of conversation is very much that. I think this is actually gonna be much more of a conversation in the comments than really me having a lesson or talking about something in profound detail. It is the idea between female friendships and male friendships and the difference between the two and how people's experiences have differed based on who you are. Because I think it's a pretty common trope and stereotype that guys, it takes like almost nothing for guys to become friends. And in my experience, it can just be as simple as two people running into each other and then, hey, you want to be friends? Okay, sure, right? It's like a stereotype, honestly. My example, and I've mentioned this a little bit now, is that probably 2 months ago now, I was at the gym and I was doing a set of bench. And it's up for debate if I was going to fail the rep or not, but let's just say that I was going to fail it. And so this guy came over to me and pulled the bar off me. And then he was like, hey, man, I'll give you some tips. Or I don't even know if he did that, but he was just like, hey, be careful or something. And so he was in the Smith machine next to me, like we were side by side. So then I asked him like, hey, man, what do you eat? Because he's like really muscular and jacked. And so I just started having a conversation with him. And now we've been working out together for like the past 2 months. Pretty much go to the gym together at the same time every single night. And it's awesome. Like we've become genuine friends. I just did a run with him and a few people today. We ran like 4.5 miles and walked 2.5 more. Like I feel like my physical fitness has gone up a lot since becoming friends with this guy. And it was so easy looking back. That's my point. It took literally just like him pulling the bar off of me and then me trying to continue the conversation, and then, hey, now we're friends, right? And by no means am I saying that girls can't do that. I just think that it's a common thing that I've been told that it just is harder for girls to become friends, or there's more complicated emotions, or it's harder to read girls. I feel like it's kind of a stereotype that guys are just kind of simple and, like the jock stereotype of like, friend? Okay, like a caveman almost. And, that's a bit of a demeaning stereotype because men are obviously, they're just as complex emotionally as women, just in different ways. But I think that there is some merit to that in that, there's something to be said about clickiness. Some girls will be nice to your face, but then actually trash talk you behind your back, like the mean girl stereotype. And so I guess what I'm saying when I said at the start that this should be more of a conversation is that I'm curious, particularly for any girls that are watching, to share their experiences about what it's like to have female friends or to try to become friends with girls and how that may differ for guys being friends with guys. Because one thing that I've thought about before with female friendships is there's definitely this sort of archetype that seems to happen with when there's a bunch of girls in one big friend group. They tend to pair up with each other and have like a bestie in the friend group. An example that I have is that my girlfriend and I have watched The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I've mentioned this before, it's a reality show. And it just follows the lives of, I don't know, like 7 or so women in Utah, and they're Mormons and whatever. And I've noticed that even within that big friend group, there's 2 girls. It's Michaela and, God, that's crazy. I've actually forgotten her name already. Well, it doesn't matter. The point is that they're like besties and they'll refer to each other as like going to get drinks with my bestie, And while there's no written rule that says that some other girl can't also be friends with you, there's kind of this protectiveness and competitiveness where it's like, oh, we're soulmates. We just get each other so well. You wouldn't get our inside jokes. And again, I'm not trying to make any sort of generalizations that men can't do that. I'm sure there's plenty of men that do this kind of thing, but I'm just saying that it seems to be an archetype that I've noticed, not just in this example, but other friendships that I've seen throughout high school or whatever. And it's bizarre to me. It really is, because like in my friend group where there's, I don't know, 5 of us or so, 5 guys, I don't get the vibe that there's some sort of strong competitiveness where you cannot be friends with another guy because, well, he's kind of best friends with that guy, There's no weirdness. It's just like everyone is friends with everyone and everyone can talk to each other. again, I'm open to the idea that there's no real merit to this and that this is just my personal anecdotes and men and women are no different in terms of the ease of making friends. But it just seems like I've known more women who, for whatever reason, it seems like they make it harder to be friends with each other than it needs to be. Or like when I hear about women in my life or other people's lives, and I hear about the drama and the cattiness and like, oh, did you see what she was wearing? You know, stuff like that. Or in just my experience, that doesn't seem to happen with guys. Guys just don't really care about that kind of stuff. They just care about different things, I guess. And I just, whenever I've been around guys that seem to exhibit more traits where they would be drama prone, they're just not going to be a part of my life, really. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to hang out with people like that. But I don't know. I guess I don't have a lesson in this one. It's kind of a different talk. It's more like I want people to tell me if I'm telling any truths here or if I'm way off base with this kind of thing. Because I'm sure there are some girls listening to this who can relate to this experience, who would be like, yeah, I mean, I know some girls who are like tied at the hip or whatever the phrase is of like, you're my bestie and no one can come between us. I've just known people in large female friend groups, or not even large, but just like 4 or 5 girls, where it just seems like, why is there so much drama? Like, why are you guys making it so hard to just be around each other? But that's besides the point. My point is just that I've found in the past few months that it's not as scary as I thought to just like ask someone a question in the gym or like, how many sets you got left? And like, hey, maybe that's going to turn into a conversation, you know, or a friendship. I would say that I know this guy the best out of the people that I know at the gym, but like today, there was me and him and then 2 other guys that I know at the gym. And I feel like I'm starting to kind of accrue people that I could talk to. Like one of the guys that was at the run today, apparently he watches my channel, which is like insane. I just told him that this is what I do for work. And I've been working out with him for like a month. And he's like, no way, like I've seen your videos before. I'm like, what? That's so cool. And I don't feel like there's any sort of weirdness or clickiness where like, oh, I can only talk to you and you can only talk to that guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of rambling. I don't want anyone to think that I have some sort of misogynistic take that women are just so much more catty or something. I don't believe that. I don't. I just wonder if there's any merit to the idea that it's a little bit more complicated at times for girls to be friends with other girls. Maybe one closing thought is that I feel like girls on average talk about their feelings more often and things that they're going through in their life or whatever. Whereas I feel like with guys, there's not as much of an expectation to share emotions or, you know, deep things that are going on in your life. It kind of leads to more surface level conversations, which isn't bad per se. It's just different. Guys tend to be more interested in things. Like today, I was talking with this guy at the run about my channel. Like that's more of a thing, or just like a cool thing to share and talk about. Whereas like, it's such a common thing where maybe I'll play some games with my friends on Discord for a few hours, and then I'll, you know, get off the computer and come to bed, and my girlfriend will be like, hey, what'd you talk about with them? And I'm like, oh, you know, stuff. Like I don't have a running catalog of things that I talked about with them. And maybe that makes it a little bit easier to just converse and be friends. I don't know. It's not to say that my friends and I don't have deep conversations and that men can't have that, but I wonder if women have deeper conversations more, that makes it easier to have drama and like, oh, well, she really confided in me, so I'm closer to her now and I'm not as close to you. I don't know. Maybe I'm just spitting bullshit on that, but it's just an interesting thought, and I want people to share their experiences on this, because I'm not a girl, obviously, so I'm just fundamentally not as experienced in this conversation. This is more a question targeted at women, but that's about my thoughts on this topic, so let me know what you think about that one. So I know I just did a talk, but I actually would like to do back-to-back talks. I think this could be a cool way to just have more stuff going on in the video and have more conversations happening in the comments. And so this topic is going to be interesting. Maybe it'll be a little bit entertaining. We'll see. I got a comment probably a couple weeks ago now, and it was, you know, I don't get too many hate comments, but it was pretty much one of those. And I know exactly who it was that left the comment, and I'm not going to give the dude the satisfaction of putting the comment on screen or even telling you what it was, but it was just someone trying to annoy me. What this topic I think should be about is grudges. And I want people to just do your best to learn to let things go. I just feel like it has to be so exhausting walking around life knowing that you just hate someone's guts. You know, you're just like so enraged and you cannot let things go, because the context with this comment is that this guy wanted something from me, I think, and I wasn't going to give it to him because he was just being ridiculous. So he just started lashing out and spreading lies about me over the last year, and I guess as an attempt to take me down, and it didn't work at all. So it just seems like every few months he lets his emotions get the better of him and has some snarky comment to leave or whatever. I'll spare you the specific details because that's exactly what someone like this wants. They want you to open the can of worms of drama. It's not going to happen, but that's the context. He's just this butthurt dude who cannot let go of the past, you know? And this is something that I'm sure many of you can relate to, whether it's parents or friends or siblings or someone that you haven't spoken to in 3 years or whatever. And it's just sad. Like it's sad to go through life being so bitter and so angry, because I understand that it feels good to feel validated in your emotions, that like, oh, this person really rubbed me the wrong way and they really wronged me, you know? Like, I get it. I understand that it feels good to feel that way, but come on, you have to know that sitting in a grudge requires basically zero critical thinking, right? It's basically you saying, I'm right, this person's wrong, there's no conversation to be had ever, and I want to stay mad forever. But that's not what emotionally mature, stable adults do. Like, I would like to believe that most of you guys want to be better people and you want to improve and reflect on the things that maybe you did something wrong in this scenario, but maybe this person really actually screwed you over and you know that you're right. Because nothing is ever black and white. Even with this guy that I've pissed off enough for him to still be leaving comments a year later, that even though I have all the facts and I know that my perspective is valid, sure, there's a couple of things that maybe I could have improved or communicated better, or like, there's always some way, even when you know that you're pretty much correct on something, that, okay, maybe I could have improved that. Maybe I could have communicated better. Maybe this person has a point, even if it's a very, very small point. And again, that's what I would hope that everyone listening to this video is striving to do. That even if someone is holding a grudge against you and really fucking hates your guts, maybe just try as hard as it is to just be like, where could this person possibly be coming from? Because you don't have to talk to the person, you don't have to forgive them, you don't have to do anything, but at least just know that you tried to understand where they're coming from. That's the best you can do. You do not have to be like, oh, you were so right, and oh, actually, let me just fully accept your perspective, even though I know you're wrong. You don't have to do that. I'm certainly not going to do that with this guy, but at least you know that you gave a little bit of thought of like, maybe I could see where they're coming from. Because otherwise it's just going to be this back and forth beef forever, where this person is always going to be mad at you, and maybe they're going to be mad at you no matter what, even if you try to talk some sense into them. But at least if you do your half of the work, if you do half of the reflecting, and you're like, okay, maybe this person has like where are they coming from on this? At least you know that you tried. But this is just, you know, on the receiving end of the perspective. This is like your perspective if someone holds a grudge against you. But I still want to talk to the people that have grudges or live in this, you know, pit of misery and bitterness. Like, what are you doing, bro? I mean, it's so pathetic to be entrenched in anger forever. I mean, that's just not what adults do. Adults are supposed to grow and reflect on experiences and certainly not lie and present their perspective as correct when they know that it's wrong. Like, maybe the person that holds a grudge against you, like, you know, just that they're just talking some bullshit, you know, like they're just making stuff up about you. Maybe it's like a bully at school and they're saying things that are just not true, and you know that they're not true. It's like, what are you doing? Maybe it's that the person that you're dealing with is just like an undiagnosed narcissist, where they're just incapable of reflecting and thinking, maybe I'm the problem, you know? I think some people just don't have that capability, and it's sad. I more so feel badly for those people than, you know, being angry at them. Like this dude that left this comment, it's like, I honestly just feel bad that he's still so mad over a year later. Like, that's just sad, man, because like I've moved on. I have a life and I'm doing things, and there's like 100 other things that I would rather do with my time. It's like, I guess I just think about this video I watched a little while ago about like the 10 most unattractive hobbies for men in terms of women, like a hobby that men would do that women would find unattractive, right? And this isn't really a hobby, but it was on the list of men arguing with other people on the internet. That was considered an unattractive hobby to women. And like, yeah, fair point. That's a pretty pathetic thing to do, to leave hate comments or to, you know, just stir up drama and be catty and you know what I mean? Like it's such a unattractive quality, not just to women, but just to people. Like, why would you want to be friends with someone that's like that? And it's always like the kinds of people that are fake nice. You know, like in the talk that I just did, like this is not a quality exclusive to women. I'll make that very clear. But just there are some girls that have that mean girl vibe where they'll say something nice to your face and then actually, oh, what do you know? Here's a text screenshot of them being like super berating to you. It's just mean and it's immature. I feel like the kinds of people that hold grudges and live in such anger are the kinds of people to do that they would talk behind your back, that they would spread lies about you, right? And I guess the best thing to do, the best way to deal with people like this is to just deprive them of the satisfaction of you being angry back at them. All you really can do with people that are genuine narcissists or whatever is to just smile and wave, right? Like, okay, whatever floats your boat, I guess, right? You need to deprive them of the attention that they so desperately crave. Like with this comment that I got, I'm not going to tell you what his name was or what the content of the comment was, because that's exactly what people like this want. They want you to give them a platform. And so no one knows who I'm talking about, and that's totally cool with me, right? This is more just a general talk that was inspired by a comment, but the attention, the desired outcome of me, you know, getting all riled up and angry at this person is not going to happen. It's not going to be some back and forth and, oh, look at this, you know, like that's exactly what these kinds of people want from you. They want you to further validate their grudge. They want you to pour more fuel on the fire and be even angrier because that's what they want, right? And like how pathetic is that, to be basically rage baiting people into making you angrier at them. So I don't want to harp on this too much, but I just want people to just learn to let shit go. Like that's really what the bottom line of this talk is. Life is not that deep to worry about beef with other people. It is not, bro. It does not matter. All that matters is if you take care of yourself and the people that you love around you. Don't pay attention to what is essentially like the human personification of a swarm of gnats in your face. It's just like a bug to dust away. It's not that important. These people are just flies on windshields that are gonna come and go like a speck of dust. And meanwhile, you get to live your life. You get to go on and have a family, have relationships. These people don't matter, okay? That's really what it is. I know that it feels really tiresome to always have to be the bigger person and to ignore their rage baits, but that is precisely what they want. And all you can do is just smile and wave and move on with your life. So I think I've said enough on this topic. Let's get back to Minecraft now. So this area is spawn, like I've been saying, and I noticed that Peptic, who you might have seen earlier in the video, has been doing some colorful buildings. Where was that? I think it was over here. Yeah, he's been building this stuff, and I really like this style. I did it a little while ago where I built a painted village out of colorful terracotta blocks and shelves and stuff like this, and it's really cute. A very cozy, cute style, so I'm probably going to do that. Oh, he's right here. Oh, hello, Peptic. Did you just join? I didn't even see you on the tab list.
Yeah, I just joined.
Wow, that's pure happenstance. I'm talking about you right now, about what you're building.
Oh.
Wow, that's actually a crazy coincidence. Do you want to show us what you're doing? If I missed anything earlier, like what these buildings are for?
Sure, yeah. Well, I'm mostly building these for just the aesthetics of them, but I am doing interior and everything so people could live in here if they want to. They are actually livable spaces.
Cool.
So I'm just doing like cutesy, colorful builds today.
Nice. All right, well, yeah, I said that I wanted to do my own colorful builds, so I'll probably build where you said, like right here.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Sounds good.
Kind of want to do like an apartment complex with a pool.
Oh, a pool.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's start by getting a pallet. Maybe I'll wait to start on the apartment complex. Let's start small. Just put some frameworks down. All right, some of these trees are going to have to go, unfortunately. All right, that's a good start. We got a little small alleyway there, a few templates to work with. This is honestly a pretty easy style to do. The way that I do it, at least, is just to build layers of the same block, and then maybe I'll do a second layer on top of a slightly different color, or a different color entirely, like purple on top of this. Put some signs and shelves on it, put a fairly flat roof on it, and then call it a day. It's very easy to do. Like maybe this straw bale could be cool for a top block. That's cool. I think this is from Farmer's Delight. Yeah, that's a cool block. As far as the roof is concerned, I see that Peptic is doing spruce and dark oak, I think, so I'll probably go with that. It's got a slightly different block for the roof. I like dark oak beehives. Here it is. And then also rich soil from Farmer's Delight. It's a nice color combo. This is kind of built into this tree, but it's connected up to this house that Peptic has built. So I'm probably just going to leave it here and build around it. I like to work with the terrain as much as I can. Alright, that's a good start. Let's put some campfires out front. And by the way, I think there is a mod that lets you have different colored campfire blocks. That'd be cool if you could. I'll put a couple campfires out front as like an awning. Maybe some trapdoors to mix it up. Put a few spots for windows. Peptic. Come here.
Oh. Oh.
Okay, so I've done a few buildings now. These are more or less done. They're very cute, aren't they? This is like a little 2-story building, I think. There's some nice decorations outside. There's a kitchen in here. Very cozy bedroom upstairs. I love this staircase up to it. And then the other house over here is more like a blacksmith, I think. Something like that. It's pretty cool. It's got like a little smokestack off to the side. And then I did start this one, but I haven't finished that. Yeah, so this is good so far. I did talk about wanting to do like an apartment with a pool. So a larger building probably. So let's switch over to that now. Let's put in a pencil, like a stencil for a apartment building. I guess I want the building to be pretty distinct. So I'll go with, what is this, cyan concrete? Alright, so we'll have like an L-shaped building and then a courtyard for the pool. And then this part will be the tallest part, more of like a tower. I don't know what I'm doing here, just to be clear. This is always without a plan. I'm just figuring it out as I go. But I think it'll look good. Trust the process, dude. Trust the process. I want to do like a covered balcony right here. A covered walkway. Bring this back a little bit. You know how pools have the little ladders you can climb out? Oh wait, it actually does like the little latch? That's so cool. Or like the overhang. That works. Yeah, that's cool. It's kind of a small pool. Maybe I should extend it this way. Yeah, that's better. I like that. I think this is a good size. It could be more like a motel than a full-blown apartment complex, but this will be cool. I'll start doing some of the details on these buildings here and get some roofs in. I'll switch it up too, and we'll do spruce for these roofs, not dark oak. Let's make this roof a little bit more interesting. Instead of having it slope as an A-frame, I'll make this more like a skylight roof, like this, where we can have windows right there. Yeah, that's like a more unique roof shape, like that. I want to get a little bit of green in here. It's a little too blue and gray right now, which is a very cold palette. And I'm going to get some green candles and leaves to brighten it up. Now, how should I do this unit? Be this way for the roof?
Hello, Flo. This building looks like you.
Yeah, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
same.
This is the apartment complex.
There's a pool already.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
What do you mean? Get in there.
You gotta greet it with the usual peptic.
Hello, welcome.
New player.
Brought the new guy.
Huge fan.
Yeah, get in the pool, you. Thank you, welcome. Welcome to the S&P. Whoa, fireworks. Is this? Oh, it does connect up. Let's go, baby. Need to have a little privacy partition for non-apartment complex members. Keep the peons out. It looks more like a prison, I will say, but I'll make it look nice. It's a bit of a color departure more than I thought it would be, but that's fine. I'll just include some orange somewhere else in the build. I'll use some copper. Man, I'm actually not sold on the blue. What if I replace this with orange concrete? Because now that I've done this fence, I want more orange, but this blue is not hard to work with. Oh, see, that already looks so much better. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's do this color palette instead. I like this. Because then I can put copper in here, I can put different blocks. It's just easier to work with. God, this is going to be such a small unit. Let's just make this one unit. Oh, you guys are back. Looks a little different, huh? Well, I put this fence in, and then I'm like, well, it doesn't match the blue as well, so I like the orange more. These units are decorated if you guys want your own condo. This is the shittiest one. You picked the worst one.
Oh, I picked. Oh.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, this one's the largest. Oh, it's a creeper. I gotta spawn proof this better.
By the way, Flo, I changed the loot in the community center for the spawn building.
Oh yeah? What did you give them? Well, show me actually. Let me just see. Ah. Oh, very nice. I mean, I was thinking about it, and I feel like a lot of people don't even come to this building. I don't even know that it exists. Because I designed this where you spawn in on this little dock. And then I would think the first thing that you see is the spawn center. Here, watch this, watch this. Let's do a little test walkthrough of the new system. Alright, you're a new player, Peptic. Yes, hello, go this way. Peptic, wrong way! You earn yourself a spanking for that. What?
Whoa!
Alright, this way. Keep going.
I'm illiterate.
No, Lena, wrong way. It's not this way.
I like this
What is
side
this?
though.
Yes, you're almost there. Almost there.
Just took a little
Ta-da! Welcome to the community center. There's some loot over here, courtesy of Peptic, and this chest, and this chest.
That sounds about correct.
Which one is your favorite, Lina?
Oh.
I know this is kind of a rustic, not even rustic, but just not clearly a modern build. It would be cool to do some solar panels with daylight sensors. That'd be cool. I haven't done this in a while, and I feel like just a little detail right here on the roof could be cool. Honestly, something as simple as that would be interesting. I like putting lots of roof bits and AC units and whatnot. Antennas on tops of roofs. Helps give it detail like that. It's cool. Alright guys, this is going to be good enough for now for the apartment complex.
Nice. This is beautiful.
Yeah, look at this little awning. There's some... This is where you can get your juice, you know, when you get thirsty in the summer and you want to have like a little
Looks like a motel.
Peptic soda. What else should I build? What else does Spawn need? I just like establishing ideas. I don't always finish them. It's fine. What about underground club in the pool? Alright, you guys want to see the lounge?
Would have never guessed.
Can you
Oh.
tell? What a freaking airlock this
Yeah, I don't want any water to get in.
Beautiful.
Well, I improved your solar panels
Are you done? What the fuck? How did you do that?
with solar panels.
What?
What?
Look at this. Look at this Peptic.
Yeah, no, I saw before.
Yeah.
I didn't know this is possible.
Oh my
Whoa.
god.
That's
Fireworks.
Oh
Oh my god.
Hold on, get on the pig, Lena. Wow, oldest trick in the book. Wait, so these all have levitation on this one. They go up to the surface, they just fly. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Now, Lena should be falling down any second now.
Yeah. Oh, there she comes. Oh. Yeah.
How did you miss the
Oh,
pool?
she missed by one block.
Oh.
Well, yeah, like I said, I think the apartment building is good enough. I'm just going to establish the idea, but maybe Peptic can finish off the rooms. We'll move on to something else now. I think that's in a good spot. I might do another talk and kind of build as I do it, like talk in the woods. So let's go do that now. So I've got a few talks that I want to do, and two of them are going to be more philosophy things, but this first one, this bugged me a lot, and I want to talk about it. I'm sure you guys are aware of the term of being a performative male or just being performative in general. Just this idea that some people are clearly doing things so that other people will like them in a disingenuous manner. I have a couple of examples. The first one is, I remember I watched a video a couple of months ago now when Wuthering Heights came out. It's a movie. And the male lead star, Jacob Elordi is his name. He's like 6'5", very handsome. And I remember watching an interview with him, and I barely watched any of it, but he was talking about like, oh, I just love to do beekeeping. That's like a hobby of mine. And I love to work with bees and, you know, whatever. And just in my mind, maybe I'm just being cynical, But I can just imagine, given how many women obviously think that he's incredibly handsome and attractive, are like, no way, he's 6'5", handsome, and he likes bees? And while it's certainly possible that he really is into beekeeping, I don't think it's a coincidence that it seems as though people who are already successful or attractive or whatever are doing things and hobbies and pursuing things that they know deep down are just for the attention. Another example is this show that my girlfriend and I watched a while ago called Traders. And the point of the show doesn't matter, but it's just reality TV. And one of the main people that was starring in it, his name was Rob. Same idea. He's just this tall, handsome dude. People make thirst traps of him on TikTok. And the whole point is like, oh my God, he's so hot, right? And his whole thing is being really into snake hunting. And I think he's from Alabama or something like that. So he's like, I love to hunt snakes, you know, and he's kind of like that Southern charm, handsome guy. And it's not even just that. It's like the snake tattoos, wearing Harry Styles-esque outfits. It's like when you know that you're already handsome and attractive, you gotta wonder, like, do you really believe in this thing? Are you really into it? Or are you doing it because you want to further exacerbate or further promote your look, your aesthetic, you know? Because I guess what I'm getting at with both of these examples is that I just get kind of annoyed, and even though it doesn't matter that much, I still get kind of annoyed when I can tell that someone is just doing something for the attention and they don't actually really believe in it. And I'm not in people's brains. Maybe some people really genuinely are into the things that they present, but I think you know what I mean. You probably know someone who does something that's borderline pretentious, and it's like, are you really into that? Or are you just doing it because you want to appear cultured or attractive? Another example is, I know someone who has a friend and she's really into going to silent films. Like, oh, I went to the theater and this French film from 1929 was so amazing. It's like, fuck off. There's no way that you're actually into that. You just want to appear cultured. Because at the end of the day, everyone is just a normal person, or deep down knows that they want to be a normal person. Nobody's just walking around eating caviar, going to silent films, and doing all these things that just want to pump up the ego and the aesthetic, you know? And I want you guys, if there is something that you are genuinely interested in, to do it because you actually want to do it, not because you think that it's going to make you look cool or get people's attention. And I get it. Deep down, subconsciously, we all do things to puff our chest out a little bit or have a little bit of pep in your step when you're in a certain area. Like back in college, when I first started going to the gym and I first started to really get noticeable gains and I gained a lot of weight, I remember I was much more into wearing tank tops because I wanted to, show off my muscles. And I probably had a bit of a ego, and you get a little bit competitive when you're around other people in the gym. And I think that's normal. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. But looking back on that and how now I really just wear like baggy t-shirts because I don't want to show off as much, I look back at that as being a little bit performative or not really doing it because I genuinely thought that that's what I need to do. I just wanted to feel good about myself, and I had a bit of an ego about it. That's a little different than being a performative person where it's like, oh, I go to silent films, where that's most likely just a facade. But you know what I mean? I think we all do things that are a little bit disingenuous and we don't fully believe in them because we think that it's going to get the attention of, let's say, the opposite sex, and you want to attract girls, or maybe girls do something like Sydney Sweeney, where she had the American Eagle ad a while back, and she would do interviews like, oh, I'm just so down to earth, and I kind of like working on cars, and knowing that like so many conservative dudes specifically would be like, no way, she's into cars too? That's so hot. Like that is performative final boss right there, I think it's hard to describe at times, but you know it when you see it, and you know when someone is doing something, especially when they're in the public eye as a social media star or whatever, they're doing things for the attention and without really believing in it because they know that it's going to get them money or attention or whatever. So bottom line, the lesson with this talk is just do things that you genuinely want to do, and do your best to not pursue things that you know deep down are not for you, and you're just doing it to get other people's attention. I think it's probably more pertinent with guys, where guys will do certain things like with the fucking Jacob Elordi being into beekeeping, like something like that, where it's like, oh, you just want to be a guy that was written by a woman in a poetry book or romance novel, like, oh, I just love to cook and clean and read books, and I'm just kind of a quiet guy, but I'm also 6'7". You know, like, just all these qualities that people are not like that. Normal people do not do that kind of thing. At least in such an all-inclusive package. People are more multifaceted than that. Nobody is just this perfect man or woman walking around. Everyone's got their own quirks and qualities. Just be yourself. Don't be a performative person. Don't be a performative male, performative woman. Just be yourself. All right, so I think I got the message across. Those are my thoughts on that topic. Now, like I said, I have a couple more talks, and these are going to be more in the vein of philosophy. This first one is from a discussion that I've been having with my friends the past couple of days about the idea of free will. The way that I look at it is about the agency and the accountability that you have over your own life. And what sparked all this is one of my friends has been getting into philosophy podcasts more, listening to Sam Harris kind of stuff, right? And he is of the belief that free will doesn't really exist, that the decisions that you think you make are really just your brain perceiving the world in a certain way. You don't really make choices on your own. They're just being guided by the experiences that you have accrued over your entire life. Like when you go to, Chick-fil-A and you get your certain order that you get, you're not really making that decision. You're just making it because your brain has been conditioned to fire in a certain way. Like the neurons and the brain chemistry make you act in a certain manner. Whereas my belief is that we do have free will, and that when you make decisions in your life, you're actually making a decision and you're coming to the conclusion on your own. And that if you wanted to do something completely deviated from the norm, you could do that. Some specific examples is that my friend was talking about crime, right? And when a criminal does something really bad and they go to jail, I think he was trying to get at that, you can't really blame people if they've been brought up in a certain manner. Like, let's say they had a bad childhood, their parents weren't good to them, or like that's what has led them to make the decision that put them in prison, right? But I believe that whenever someone makes a decision, like they make a decision that makes them end up in prison, even if you've had a really bad childhood and the cards are not stacked in your favor and whatever, right? I still believe that you can make the conscious choice to do good things or do bad things. And if you get locked up in prison for committing a terrible crime, I think it's more often than not that you just made a bad decision, right? No one was forcing you to do something in a way like a zombie. You weren't compelled to do something in a certain way. I think there are certain scenarios where maybe someone has a mental disorder or they have a brain tumor that makes them act pretty much without their own control, and that's how you end up with people that take insanity pleas in court, and it's like, oh, Your Honor, I didn't know what I was doing kind of a thing. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but I think it's a reach to say that all criminals pretty much anyone who's ended up in prison because they had a bad childhood was in there because it was outside of their control. That, no, it was the parents and the fact that they had bad friends and bad influences growing up. That's what made them do that. I don't believe in that at all. I really don't, because that takes away accountability. And it takes away from the fact that you are your own person at the end of the day, and you are responsible for yourself. Because to suggest otherwise, to suggest that free will doesn't exist, would say that you're not responsible for your own actions. Like in my life, I've made plenty of bad decisions and things that I regret and wish that I could undo, as I'm sure all of you have. But I don't look at that as, oh, well, it was because of my parents, or it's because of the hundreds of decisions that I made that led me to do that. I can look back on mistakes that I've made and be like, nope, that was just a bad lapse in judgment that I shouldn't have done, right? I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. It's not because someone was making me do it. It's just because I fucked up, right? I think you can definitely point to factors that would cause you to be led in that direction. Like, I'm not naive enough to think that if you have a bad childhood versus a good childhood, that having the bad upbringing would make you more likely to do bad things. Sure, obviously. But there are plenty of people that come from good backgrounds that still end up in prison, right? It's not a foolproof idea. Sometimes people just do things because they messed up. And the bottom line, the point I'm trying to make, is that if you do something bad, or if you hear about someone doing something bad, to not write that off as just like, oh, well, they didn't know what they were doing. They were tripping on something, right? Like they weren't in the right state of mind. That could be true, but that is by no means a blanket answer that will suffice. You have to look at decisions through the lens of personal responsibility if you want to have any sort of control over your life. If you say that you don't know what you were doing and you weren't responsible for that, that's basically just a victim mentality. You're saying that you don't have control over yourself and your own actions. Like for me, I've mentioned before that I'm pretty sure I have OCD. I mean, I'm not like 100% positive, but when I look up all the symptoms and tics that people do and behaviors, like a lot of it checks my boxes that I can relate to that. And so whenever I have a certain compulsion, like I have to tap my toothbrush on my teeth in a certain way so that I'll feel ready to leave the bathroom, or I have to flick the light switch in a certain way, or like I have to clean the plates in a certain manner. I have to do it 3 times or whatever. Even if I feel really strongly that I need to do that in the moment and it feels super uncomfortable to ignore compulsions like that, I know deep down that if there was some sort of big consequence to me giving into that compulsion, I know that I would be able to resist it and not do it. I know that I still have the control to not flick the light switch. I know that it's not a physical impossibility for me to leave the room and ignore that craving. I know people are going to get tripped up on this and say like, oh, that's so easy to say. I know, bro. I go through this every day where I'm trying to deal with something like a compulsion to do something that I don't want to do, and I still end up doing it. But I'm saying if I really put my mind to it, I could stop myself from doing it. I think what it comes down to is that in a lot of cases, the consequences are not big enough for people to not do certain things. I would hope that prison time and going to prison for the rest of your life for committing some terrible atrocity would be a big enough consequence to stop people, but it often isn't. And that's just the way the world works. But if the consequence of being addicted to something is that you're not going to live past 30 and you're not going to be able to be a parent to your children, I think that a lot of people would say, you know what, man, I got to get sober. I'm going to take control over my life. I'm going to exercise my own free will and stop this bad behavior. And I know that that's true because not every single person that gets hooked on something ends up in the street forever. Some people get sober, they get clean, and they exercise control over their own life. Or there's people that grow up with really bad childhoods and they could certainly continue that cycle of committing their own terrible decisions, but not everyone does that. Some people get out of that cycle. Not everyone is doomed to a bad future. So what my point is ultimately is that I believe that you have control over your own life, no matter how hard it may seem to do that. You do not have to be a victim to compulsions or to thoughts or decisions that you could make. If you really wanted to go out and get in your car and drive 5 miles west and see where you end up, you could. It's not impossible. Nothing is predetermined. You can make your own decisions. And I think that's a much healthier and more powerful way to look at the world, rather than accepting that things just happen to you, that life happens to you, that you're not in control, and that when you make bad decisions, you can't really blame me, right? Because it was just my brain firing in a certain way. I don't accept that. I think that's a crock of shit. That's a terrible way to look at the world, because then you're just a victim to the outside world. That is not how I'm going to live my life, even if there are ways where maybe I come up short and I fail to not give in to a OCD compulsion or whatever. Like, I'm not perfect, but I know that I can strive to be better every day. I know that I have control over my own life and my own decisions. I think what can help, if you struggle with this kind of thing, is to look at what the consequences of continuing this behavior or this path will be. Have some sort of anti-future that you can imagine where you keep doing this bad thing and think about what will happen if you keep it up. Because there are plenty of stories of people who recognize their bad behavior, and while it's not an easy linear path to getting out of that, they eventually get sober, they get clean. They figure out some better hobby to fill in that void with, right? The ultimate point that I'm trying to make is that you have free will. I really do believe that you have control over your own life. So I don't want to sound like a broken record. I think my point is clear, but just think on it, because I think that's a really interesting philosophical question to ponder. But those are my thoughts on this topic, so just sit on it. Let me know what you think. All right, I am going to do another talk, and this might get a little spicy. Not really, but it's just, I want to have a conversation about religion. Oh, I said the naughty word, didn't I? I have been talking with my friends a little bit the past day or so, and one of my friends, he was sharing like an excerpt of, I don't know, I wouldn't say a sermon per se, but just something from some sort of religious guy. And my friend said, like, this really captures my beliefs of like why I believe in religion. I don't think he's like a typical Christian per se, but he's got his own beliefs. And I don't remember exactly what the excerpt was, but it was something about just coming to the conclusion on your own and to choose your path to religion as your own personal journey. And if God finds you or you find God, that's your journey, right? It's not like you're part of some bigger thing. It's just your own personal experience. There was that part of the excerpt. And then there was another part about saying that everyone should have humility, and that if you don't have humility, you're just going through life as a madman, pretty much. And I agree with that, I do. But what I want to talk about is just maybe some broad ideas about religion, because to preface, I'm not religious, I'm not a Christian, I didn't really go to church as a kid, not in a sincere capacity at least. And I just sometimes have a tough time with it, and I don't get the comments as much anymore, but I used to get so riled up when people would come into my stream or leave YouTube comments and they would say like, hey man, just letting you know that your life is nothing without Jesus, make sure to get saved, booyah. And it's just so annoying because it just implies that I'm just some idiot walking around life with no moral compass and I'm nothing without Jesus. Like, I will get to that later. My point is just particularly about the line about humility of that excerpt, because I was talking to myself in the car, because that's kind of what I do to sometimes practice for talks. And I was saying that the way that that was written in that excerpt was that you should be humble enough to accept that there is a God. I'm pretty sure that's what that guy was getting at. I hope I'm not speaking for him, but that's how I interpreted it. You need to be humble that you're just a human in God's world, and God's will dictate everything, right? And sure, maybe we can look at it that way, but I also think that it's worth examining humility as being humble enough to say, I don't know. Because I think what I have such a tough time with when it comes to religion is when people talk with such strong convictions, when they speak with just complete and utter certainty, which I just don't understand how you could have such convictions when the very definition of faith is just believing. It does not mean concrete proof. It does not mean, oh, this is objectively true. It means I believe in this. And so that, by definition, I would think has to be a relatively subjective thing of just like, this is what I think, but maybe it could be wrong. But I just don't hear enough people, particularly Christians, saying that kind of thing. I don't hear enough people say, hey, you know what? This is what I believe, but I could be wrong. Maybe there is no God. I don't really know. I don't hear that really. I hear much more of Jesus is king and that you are nothing without him. Jesus is the way. And I know this is just Christianity, but I'm sure this is similar in other religions. And I just have a tough time with that, because how could you know? My personal belief is not even really atheism per se, because that would also imply that I know conclusively that there is no God. I don't really know. But personally, the only reason that I hold that belief is because enough people have spoken about religion for thousands of years that we just kind of have to take it seriously a little bit and just ponder it as a question. If nobody was talking about God, I'm sure I would just think like, oh, there must just be no God, right? But because people talk about it enough, I have to at least consider it as a possibility. And so I think that's why I arrive at this conclusion of, hey man, I don't really know. I'm just a human on a speck of dirt in the vastness of the universe. I don't really know anything about this kind of thing. Why would I even bother trying to pretend that I do know? And so again, to bring it back to my point about humility, bringing up humility, is that I just wish people were like that more when it comes to religion, of just saying, I don't know. And not even just with religion, but with anything really. Like, I just feel like people nowadays are so easily convinced that they are right, that they get placed in echo chambers on social media, on Reddit, or getting news headlines of just like, oh, I'm on the right side of history, you know? People are so confident that they have the correct answer when the data would suggest otherwise. One thing that I particularly struggle with religion is whenever people say that my religion is correct, I know it is, but like, hold on. If your religion is correct, but there are so many other beliefs in the world, what are the odds that you just happened to get lucky in selecting the correct one? It's pretty low, isn't it? And maybe that's not a very common belief to be like that, where everyone else is wrong and my religion is right. But I feel like people that are very devout, especially those that are more traditional in their religious beliefs, that they do believe that they believe that, well, Jesus really is the one way. Like, I remember I saw a short once where a guy was saying, like, you know, when you look at all the religious texts, everything just comes back to Jesus. So this just must be the correct answer, right? But it's like, okay, how convenient. What about all the Hindus or the Muslims, right? Like I guess they just must be incorrect, huh? But no, of course that sounds ridiculous and like a massive sweeping judgment. I just feel like there is an extreme lack of humility in devoutly religious people. Maybe I don't know for sure, but this is just what I believe. I could totally get down with that. I might not agree with their beliefs, but at least I could be on the same page of like, okay, at least we both think that we don't really know the answer. At least we're on that same page. But again, I don't hear that enough. And it really rubs me the wrong way. And especially, again, when I get comments that are, you know, throwing it in my face of like, hey, I'm just letting you know that your way of life is wrong and you need to come to my light side. Otherwise, you're going to be burning in the pits of hell forever. Like, come on, bro. That's not exactly a good sales pitch. Because, again, that's a point that I wanted to bring up that I talked about in the car when I was practicing this, which is that I don't really see how people could not see the logic in the idea of a heaven or a hell in terms of punishment for sins. If we have all these things that we have considered morally bad, like stealing or lying, or well, I don't know if lying is a sin, but you know, like stealing from someone, that's a bad thing. You're gonna go to jail or whatever. Like there's things in the Bible that you're not supposed to do, right? But thinking about it logically, those are rules that other humans came up with so that we don't go around stealing from each other and causing a whole bunch of chaos, right? That's how I would look at it. And so in that regard, I would imagine that people have to be like, okay, maybe hell is a human construct that we created so that people would act in line, because if you break the rules, you're going to go to this really bad place forever. Like, why would God care if you stole an apple? Or why would God care if you're gay? I don't think he would really care if my son was gay, but there are many people in the world that have a problem with that. Their human beliefs have an issue with that. And I don't have a gay son, I'm just talking hypothetically. But you know what I mean? Like, it's other humans that have problems with this. We created the rules for ourselves. And so when people talk about this conviction of worrying that they're going to go to hell or, oh, I know I'm going to go to heaven, it's like, well, that's nice to believe, but you have to know that that was a human construct. It's no different than jail, really. Like, we created prisons because we don't want people going around committing crimes. We want people to follow the rules and respect each other. I'm expecting, you know, particularly Christian people to comment on this and hopefully shed some light, but I just don't see the logic behind it, I guess. I don't understand that world. I wasn't raised that way, and I'm not saying that Christians are wrong. I hope that the message is clear that I just don't know the answer, but I guess I just have a tough time when people talk as if they know everything, because we don't know everything. Nobody knows the answer to what happens after death or what lies beyond the simulation, right? These are hypothetical questions that more than likely will never be answered. And so I just want people, not just with religion, but in general, to just walk around life being a little bit more humble. When we look back at that initial excerpt that I talked about, where the guy was talking about be humble enough to accept that there is a God, also be humble enough that there may not be a God, that answer might not be correct, that belief might not actually be true. Have enough humility to accept that my beliefs may be wrong, and have enough humility to say, I don't know. Because I sure as hell do not hear that enough walking around day to day or going on the internet or in my Discord server, wherever, right? People are not comfortable enough admitting that they don't know the answer. So I hope that the devoutly religious people can hear what I'm saying and disassociate their beliefs from my beliefs, and we can just have a normal conversation. I hope that nobody interprets this as, oh, I must just hate God and I hate people that are religious. I don't. Some dull knives in the drawer are definitely going to look at this as that, and I can't help that. Can't fix stupid. But, you know, it is what it is. I think my point is clear, so let's get back to the game now. Alright, gamers, I am back. I know that was quite a marathon of talking, but I had a lot of thoughts. What about this? Check it out. This is a create mod water wheel type of house. I wanted to make like a you know, riverside hut, or more of like a manor. Honestly, it's not really a hut. It's a big thing, but it's all just for decoration, really. I'll give you a tour. Spawn is over there, and there's a path that leads up to this thing. So here is the front entrance. Got a nice sofa. There's a kitchen over here. Pretty small, but it's cozy. There's more of a reading nook, or I guess this is the bedroom and a secondary kitchen. There's some storage, although the cobwebs need to be cleaned out. Little balcony here. And then there is a staircase down below to kind of like a double workshop. So there's a workshop storage spot here. You already saw the water wheel area out here. And then over here is like another secondary workshop for more storage and an anvil. And there's a little fishing dock as well. So I like this house a lot. I like the color with the green and the brown. So yeah, cool house, but I think I'm going to call it here. I think this was a good building video. Got a lot of building done, a lot of talking. As a reminder, if you like the vibe of the SMP, because I am building on the Flow SMP, check out my Discord in the description, and then the how to join SMP channel in my Discord if you want to learn how to join the server. But that's about it, so I'll see you in the next one.